guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this hair and makeup look. So if you are interested, just go ahead and keep on watching. Today's video is in sponsorship with NaBeautyHair company. They sent over this super cute blonde highlighted wig, and I'm so excited to show you guys how I installed it and styled it. I'm loving this wig so much. But along with the wig, they also sent over a few little cute accessories as well. We've got some wig caps here, a few little hair clips, a pair of lashes, oh, and also a elastic band just in case you want to sew that to the back of your wig to make it a little bit more secure. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this install because I'm so excited to show you guys this wig like applied and everything. As usual, I'm gonna go in with my Got2b hairspray and start spraying down my wig cap. I'm gonna use my blow dryer on a cool setting just to dry that down. I'm gonna be doing my bald cap method like I always do, so we're gonna make sure that this wig cap is secured first before we go into applying our wig. So I did bleach the knots for this wig off camera, but I still need to do a little bit of plucking, so I'm going to go ahead and do that next. I'm just using some tweezers to kind of get rid of like any excess hair along the hairline. Then once I'm done plucking, I'm going to go in with some scissors and just start cutting away all that excess wig cap. I'm then going to add some cream foundation onto the edge of my wig cap as I always do. I'm using the Ruby Kisses cream foundation and this one is in shade number 9. I'm just going to apply that using a brush and just make sure to use some rubbing alcohol after to wipe off any excess product on my skin. We don't want our lace like sticking onto any of that. It's not going to stick really well if you have like any product on your skin, so you just want to make sure all of that is nice and clean. And now I'm going to move on to applying my wig. I'm using my same Got2b hairspray as I always do. I'm using my blow dryer and a cool setting to dry this all the way down. You want to make sure everything is nice and dry before you move on to like cutting your lace. Don't mind me, we're taking a really quick Twix break. But yeah, you just want to make sure that hairspray is all the way dry before you move on to cutting away that lace. And now that we have our lace cut and everything, I'm going to start styling. I'm going to be doing a middle part, so I'm going to start pressing that into place first. I'm using my hot comb to make sure everything is nice and flat and moving in the right direction. So I'm going to press that part into place first, and then I'll move into crimping the hair. Then right after, I'm going to start styling my baby hairs. I wanted my baby hairs to be a little bit more like styled today, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pull a few extra hairs than I normally would. I'm going to be using my little razor to cut away like all my baby hairs that I want to style. And to kind of like sculpt the hairs into place, I'm going to be using a little bit of the Got2b hairspray again. I love this hairspray because you can literally use it for everything. Like you can use it to secure your wig. You can use it to like secure your wig cap, to style your hair. Like it's everything. Like I literally use this hairspray for everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and just spray a little bit of that onto my edge brush, and then I'll just brush the hairs into place. Then from there, I'm gonna add my crimps. Every time I use this crimper, I always get questions in the comments about like what kind of crimper this is and like what company it's from. This is the Away We Go crimper from Bedhead, and I picked this up from Ulta's website. I think it's so cool because it has like this little knob on the side that you can twist to kind of adjust the waves, like to make it either more defined or more loose. So you really have a lot of flexibility with this crimper as far as like the way that you want your waves to look. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of info on that because I do get a lot of questions about like where this like waver is from. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add some heat protectant onto my hair as well. Before I style each section, I'm using one from Tresemme, and then once I'm done adding waves to each section, I'm gonna use a little bit of that Got2b hairspray again, just to give the hair a little bit of extra hold. You guys have no idea how excited I was to get my hands on this wig because it already comes with these gorgeous highlights. You don't have to do any type of bleaching, nothing at all. It comes like this. It's already like styled and everything for you, and I'm here for it because I have tried to get highlights like this before and it takes forever. Well, at least for me it does. It literally takes like forever for me to go from like black to blonde. So I was super excited to try this wig and see what it looked like on, and it definitely didn't disappoint. I was so happy with the way that they came out and everything. But yeah, I've been really loving this wig, so I'll make sure to leave all the info down below in the description box for you guys. Before we get going with this makeup look, can we take a look at these nails though? These nails are so cute. These are a new press-on set that I'm rocking from Iridescent Nails. This is their Royal set and I'm wearing it in the shade pink and I'm obsessed. These nails are so cute. I just thought I'd give you guys a little close-up and everything. But let's go ahead and move right into this makeup look. So to start off this look, I'm going to prime first using the Morphe Fluidity Concealer in 3.55. I'm using that first to carve underneath the brows, and I'm also going to add that to the sides of the lid, and then I'll add my Be Perfect eyeshadow priming base onto the lid and just blend that out using a brush. So next I'm going to go in with a few different gel liners and cream eyeshadows. I'm first going to use the Ofra Cosmetics gel liner in the shade Yellow Submarine. This is going to be our base for our yellow on the inner portion of the lid. And then next I'll add my pink base, which is from Huda Beauty. This is their like matte and metal like duo eyeshadow. And I'm just going to use the matte eyeshadow side. It's more of a like softer pink. So I'm going to place that on to the center of the lid. And then for our purple base, I'm going to use another cream eyeshadow from Huda Beauty, and this one I'm going to add onto the outer corner and just kind of blend it outwards. And I'm also using a separate brush for each color, so that way everything stays nice and like well blended and like the colors don't get all muddy. After applying that Huda Beauty eyeshadow for the purple, I wanted it to be a little bit more vibrant, so I'm also going to add a purple eyeliner on top of that from LA Girl Cosmetics. This is one of their Shockwave neon liners. I smudged a little bit of that eyeliner onto the back of my hand and then picked it up with my brush, and from there I'm going to apply it directly onto the outer corner right on top of that Huda Beauty eyeshadow. Next up, I'm going into the Morphe Icy Fantasy palette and taking that pastel yellow shade on the top row. I'm going to start adding that on top of the yellow eyeliner that we applied on the inner corner. Then next, I'm taking this pink shimmer shadow from the same palette and I'm going to add that on top of the pink on the center of the lid. I do believe that the shimmers in this eyeshadow palette were meant to be like eye toppers, so I think that's the reason why they're not like super pigmented or anything like that, which is perfect for this look because I'm not necessarily looking for like a whole lot of pigmentation. I just want a little bit of a shimmer. So I'm going to add that pink shimmer onto the pink in the center of the lid, and then I'll go in with another purple shimmer from the same palette and add that right on top of the purple on the outer corner. I'm going to go back in with that same pink duo eyeshadow from Huda Beauty and taking the metallic shade this time, I'm going to add a little bit of that on top of the pink in the center just to give it a little bit of extra shimmer. So now it's time to create like our little butterfly. I'm going to start off with a gray shadow first from the same Morphe palette, and I'm going to sketch out the shape that I'm going to go for this wings like butterfly look. This is like a really detailed like look at everything, so I want to make sure that I get it right the first time. So having like that gray shadow underneath is just going to give me like a guideline to go off of, so I know like where to apply my black liner. And now that we have our look all sketched out, I'm gonna add my black liner next. The one I'm using is from Melt Cosmetics. This is their Ultra Matte Liquid Liner in the shade Alchemy, and I'm gonna go in with that same angled like liner brush that I used to apply the gray shadow and start sketching out that butterfly. Just make sure you take your time with this. Like, there's no rush or anything like that. Like, we literally have nowhere to go, so you can take all the time in the world to do this. I'm gonna go over my sketch first, and then I'll add all the details on the inside after. So we've got our liner on. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up using that same Morphe Fluidity Concealer, same one that I used to prime the eyes. And I'm just going to go over all the edges of that liner just to make sure everything is nice and clean. I'm not going to go throughout the whole entire like liner look though. I'm pretty much just going to keep it on like the outer portion of that butterfly. So far, so good. I'm gonna go in with my white eyeliner next. I'm gonna add some white details using this liner from Ofra Cosmetics. I'm gonna add some dots in the inside of that black liner to complete our butterfly. Then next I'm going to add a little bit of mascara. The one I'm using is from Lancome. This is their Hypnose Drama mascara. I'm going to do a couple of coats of that before I move on to applying my false lashes. And the lashes that I'm using today are from Lovey Lashes, and these are in the style Red. I'm going to pop those on using some tweezers as I usually do, and I'll go in with my lash curler just to kind of give them a little bit of extra curl on the outer corner. So moving on to the skin, I'm going to start off by prepping my skin using some Farsali Rose Gold Face Mist. My skin has been on the more dry side because, as you guys know, I'm trying to get rid of like some acne scars on my face. So like the products that I'm using for skincare and everything like that are making my skin like a little bit more dry. So I'm just really making sure to moisturize my skin really well before I apply like my foundation and everything. So once I have that face mist on, I'm also going to use a little bit of face oil from Milani. This is a new one that they sent me just recently. This is their Cannabis Glow Oil, and I'm going to add a little bit of that onto like the areas where I'm more so on the dry side. Once I have that face oil on, I'm going to use a tissue to dab off any excess product. I'm then going to prime using the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. I'm adding that onto the cheek area because that's where I usually have like the most texture and like my pores are like most visible. So I want to make sure to smooth all of that out. So I'm going to blend that in using my fingers and just make sure to kind of pat it in really well until it dries down. And then to help control like the oily parts of my face, which are like my T-zone, the forehead, the nose, a little bit on the cheeks, I'm going to use the Farsali Liquid Powder Serum. I love, 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 love this stuff. Then moving on to foundation, I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. It's been a while since I've used this one, but I really like it. It's one of my favorite like drugstore foundations. It's super full coverage as well. So I'm going to apply that using a brush and just make sure to blend it in really, really well. Then for concealer, I'm also going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. I'm going to apply that on all the areas that I want to highlight, but for some reason, I don't have footage of me blending out this concealer. I only have footage of me applying it, but I'm pretty sure you guys know how to blend your concealer, so hopefully that should be okay. I think my camera died and I forgot to press record like when I was in between switching batteries and stuff, but yeah, you guys know how to blend out your concealer. You don't need me for that. So once I have my concealer on, I'm going to add my cream contour. I'm going to take a mixture of the two darkest shades on the bottom of the palette and add that on all the areas that I want to add some warmth and depth. So the forehead, the cheekbones, and a little bit on the nose. Then for some added brightness on the inner corners of the under eyes, I'm going to add the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and the color that I'm using I think is Dark 30. This one is a lot lighter than my previous concealer, so I'm only going to use a small amount of this. I just want a little bit of extra brightness. And now that we have all of our cream and liquid products on, I'm going to start setting everything with powder using the Huda Beauty Loose Setting Powder. And you guys, this powder smells divine. It smells so good. And the way that this powder finishes is really, really nice. I'm loving the way that this powder like looked underneath the eyes. It just gave like the skin this super airbrushed look, and I'm here for it. Like, I love this powder so much. It's literally been sitting in my kit for like the longest time, and for some reason I never really picked it up. I think the shade kind of intimidated me a little bit because it's like a pure white. There's no like yellowiness or like beigeness to this at all, but I love the way this powder looks underneath the eyes. So I'm going to set the under eyes and all the areas that I added my concealer. I'm also going to add a little bit of that powder onto the bridge of the nose to give that a little bit of highlight. And then from there, I'll add my powder foundation to bring back some color into the skin. And I'm going to use the LA Girl HD pressed powder in the shade Classic Tan. I'm going to add this onto the skin using a large fluffy brush. I don't want anything too heavy because we're already wearing like a really full coverage foundation. This is more so just to set everything. Moving on to bronzer, I'm using Anastasia's bronzer in the shade Mahogany. I'm going to add that onto all the areas where I added my cream contour and use that to give the skin a little bit of extra warmth. For blush, I'm using the Ofra Cosmetics Pro palette, and I'm using a mixture of Pink Satin and B29 from this palette, and I'm going to add that on top of the cheeks and just make sure to blend it in really well into the bronzer. Then using a brown gel liner, this one's also from Ofra Cosmetics. I'm going to add that on top of that acne scar on my cheek. I only really need it there, but I've been super obsessed with like beauty marks and everything. So I'm going to go ham with this and add some onto like my chin, my like lower lip and everything, my forehead, just any areas that I want to add some like extra beauty marks. I just think they're so cute. For my brows, I'm using the Revlon Color Stay Brow Creator in Soft Black. I haven't used a pencil on my brows in a really long time, but I feel like because my brows are like groomed finally, I feel comfortable using a pencil versus like my brow pomade that I normally use from Anastasia. So yeah, I'm gonna fill in my brows using that and just make sure to fill in all the sparser areas. We're definitely going for more of like a sculpted, like snatched brow today. Our brows are groomed, they're looking good, so I really want to emphasize that shape. And to set all the brow hairs in place, I'm using a little bit of Anastasia's Clear Brow Gel. For the waterline, you guys know I've been loving a beige, like off-white waterline, so I'm using this Velvet Touch eye pencil from Japanesque in the shade Waterline Nude. Then moving back into that Lancome mascara, I'm going to start coating the lower lashes. I'm also going to be doing some individual lashes on the lower lash line. I'm using the Double Up Ardell lashes, and I'm going to use the shortest ones from the set. I usually use just 2 on the outer edge, but I'm using 3 today because we don't have like any shadow going on the lower lash line. So I felt like kind of bold, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to add a 3rd one. So I'm going to do 1 on the outer corner, 1 kind of more in like the center, and then I'll do like 1 closer to the inner corner of the eye. I'm then going to do a little bit of highlighting using the Anastasia loose highlighter in So Hollywood. I'm going to add a little bit of that onto the bridge of the nose as well as the tip of the nose and the sides. Be careful with this product because it can go left really, really quickly. This is probably like the most blinding highlighter that I have in my kit, and yeah. So only use a little bit of this at a time and like slowly build it up. I'm also going to add some onto the Cupid's bow and a little bit onto the inner corners of the eyes. Then finally, we're going to add our lip for today. I'm going to first align them using the MAC lip liner in the shade Chestnut. I'm going to make sure to feather that liner inwards a little bit just so it helps blend into the liquid lipstick that we're going to use next a lot easier. Then to fill in the lips, I'm going to use a mixture of 2 liquid lipsticks from Too Faced. These are their melted matte liquid lipsticks in the shade Cool Girl and a Child Star. Cool Girl is a little bit darker, so I'm going to add that one first, and then I'll add a Child Star, which is the lighter shade, on the very center. And then to set our look, I'm going to use the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray and just make sure to fan that all the way dry, and we are all done, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this hair and makeup tutorial. I am loving the way that this wig is looking crimped and everything. She's so cute. I did add some little hair clips and stuff before I took pictures for Instagram. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.